Welcome to my show where I help you build a career you love. Today we got a special alert on the coronavirus and what it's going to do to your job search and your career. I think you're going to enjoy this. Look, I know we all just took a punch in the mouth, but we're tough and we can take it, and I'm here for you. So don't panic. I really do have a full one today. Get in the chat if you're here with me live. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do. Put some question marks in front of your questions because I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of those today. You're welcome to kibitz with each other and help each other in the chat. It's always lively every week. I have a feeling it's going to be a little extra lively today. It's great to have all of you. Now, I'm going to give you the agenda. I want to talk about a few little, I don't really want to call them ground rules for today, but I want, in the way that I want to go through today's program, it's a little different than my usual weekly show. So I want to make sure we're all in sync. But the first thing I want to say to everybody, besides welcome, is don't worry. Uncle Andy's here for you. I'm here for you. You're going to get through this. And I thought about, we all just got hit in the head, right? Like we're all in this together. Things are going to change. We're going to have to make adjustments. But I've been working for 30 plus years, and I've seen a lot of this for a lot of different reasons. I've been punched in the mouth so many times, it's amazing I even have any teeth left. But I'm going to give you, dare I say, some wisdom from what I've seen from past events like this and crises, ailments, financial crisis, all that stuff. I'm going to bring it all together. I'm going to show you what has transpired and what, based on has transpired, and we're all common sense people, right? How is this going to affect us going forward? And what does that mean for you now? How do you get out ahead of the curve? I really want to spend kind of the first half of this talk today illuminating that, the whys behind why I want you to do what I want you to do. So we're going to go through that. Now, first thing is, let me run through a little agenda. And I'm going to just tell you what we're gonna go through. So that's right. That's right. And then this happened. And for those, I stole this one from the Power of Your Personal Story, my big event that I had last month. That some of you came along, and I said, hey, your greatest stories are going to start from a pit, from the bottom. And then this happened. This is going to be the beginning of a great story for a lot of you. It really is. It really is. I know you're probably thinking, I'm out of my mind, but I'm telling you, it is. It will be. Hang in there, okay? So let's just run through the agenda. I'm going to kind of go back and forth with some of these slides. I want to give you my little let's remain calm and some of the ground rules up front. I'm going to talk about the indelible mark that I think this crisis is going to have because of this outbreak, how it's going to shift the way we do things in the future. I want to talk about some revolutions and what has transpired. I'll give you a couple of quick funny stories from my past. What I think is going to change for you going forward. It's going to be different for everybody depending on what it is you do and your profession, how you work, where you work, what country you live in. But there are going to be some trends. I am going to run through the industries that I think are at risk. I'm going to do this not to scare you. I'm going to do this to inform you. And I want to make sure that you're positioning yourself properly so that you actually can land out of this with cushy slippers on your feet. Okay. And then we'll talk about some of the industries I would get ready to target if I was looking for a job or if I needed a switch. What are some of the tactical changes? So this will be prescriptive. I'm going to tell you specifically what I want you to change. And I'm going to tell you what to expect with job interviews, what I think will happen, how I think they'll be called off, when I think they'll come back, all that good stuff. The mediums are going to change. We're going to go through all that. We're going to talk a little bit about video interviewing because you're going to have to learn this. You're going to have to learn it if you're interviewing, that is. And even if you're not interviewing, if you're working and you just love me and you're here anyway because you want to hear what I have to say, video meetings are going to become important. So I'm going to give you a few quick tips on that. I'm also going to highlight what the skills are that employers are going to look for now. They're going to become a little hypersensitive, shall we say, in looking for particular traits. I want to make sure you've got your stories down cold related to about a half a dozen traits that I think they're going to be looking for. I want to tell you which 5 questions I would ask them on top of all the other questions I want you to ask them. And then we're going to talk a little bit about following up related to networking, because you're going to be doing more of that. That's going to be a job search adjustment, and interviewing when you do have interviews, when they get called off, when you have interviews and they go through, all that good stuff. And then I'm gonna kind of package it up here at the end with some freemiums that I want to give you. I want to point you to. Look, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've got a lot of free stuff. I've got so much free stuff I can't even fit it all on the Mile Walk Academy site. But I'm gonna point you to the things that I think are going to be the most value for you right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I do want to talk about the kind of the little ground rules. Kara and I, Stacy, we were talking the other day, and I said, I love my community. They are the nicest people in the world. They cheer each other on. They come to the shows every week. They ask me awesome questions. They make me a better coach. But I know that, this is affecting us, right? It's wearing us down, and I know because it's wearing us down, we could be getting a little raw, and we might be a little edgy today. So I wanna show you, I wanna ask you, I'm pleading to you to be gentle to all of us, to each other, and be as supportive as possible. This is literally worldwide. And my community is 50-50. It's 50 in the US and it's 50 everywhere else, which I think is awesome. And I decided I want to show you something I use every single day to remain calm in the face of anything that happens to me. I've never showed this to anybody. It is the front page of my journal that has been the same front page, let me see, that I've been using for 4 years running. So for 4 years, so 2020, 19, 18, and 17, this has been the first page of my journal. I look at it every day in the morning to remind myself, and I'm not going to read it all to you, but be responsible for your energy, okay? With things like this, we can be individually the calm in the face of the storm. We don't have to fuel all the negativity. We don't have to fuel the rampant rumors and the negative talk and the slandering and all the other stuff that is ridiculous that goes on. We should be pulling together. Okay, so please be responsible for your energy. Be responsible for it every single day. Be responsible for it with your families, be responsible for it on social media, and please be responsible for it in the chat. Okay, and just adopt that learning mindset. This is happening for you, not to you. I know it looks bad. I know you're having a tough time. I know you're stressed out. I know your companies are freaking out. But we'll get through this. We will. We will. So just, think about it. Recognize you're being prepared. No complaining. That's my big one. Okay? You can rewind this later and look at that. But that's the front page of my journal. I write it the same way every year, although my handwriting gets a little less legible every year, it seems. I don't know. But anyway, I'm here to help you. I got your back. Have each other's backs. Okay? All right, now, I want to talk about some things. Sorry, we gave you the don't panic already. Now, I said I work in 30 years, long time, and every time we go through something like this, there's an indelible mark. There's going to be an indelible mark. Most of you probably already know what that is, but I want to share a couple stories with you because I think they're kind of funny. But I thought back to the last really nasty one. Now, we've had some, we've had the swine flu, and we've had the Ebola virus, and we've had a couple of other medical-related issues. But 13 years ago, when we absolutely got crushed in the financial markets, which turned into employment market melee to end all melees, I remember in 2004, I was buying a condominium. Some of you might have seen videos of me shooting in my condominium. So if they're not looking like this wonderful little office, they were in my condo. And I was going to get a loan for my condo in 2003 and then 2004. And I had this mortgage broker, and he says to me, "Hey, Andy, you know what? Could you tell me how much you earn?" I said, "Sure. Here, I earned this last year." He says, "Okay, that's great." I said, "Well, don't you need some documentation?" And to get me the loan, and you need like a paycheck or anything to substantiate? They said, no, I just, we'll just write that number in, and then we'll run a little background check on you and give me your social security number. They'll run a credit check. And that's all it took to get a loan. And then a few years later, I wanted to refinance, and that's all it took to get a loan. I didn't supply anything. We were fast and loose that day. Then all of a sudden, the market crashes in 2007. And then, as you would imagine, just like the Fed lowers the rates right now, the borrowing rates, same thing happened back then, right? They dropped down like a stone, and everybody wanted to refinance. And I couldn't even refinance. It took me 6 months. I had all kinds of trouble and all that good stuff, and couldn't shop my loan around and all that. Finally got it refied. And then, as time goes on, these indelible marks remain. So my wife and I wanted to buy this house, and it went a little something like this. Can you supply me your W-2s and your wife's paychecks and all that? And every month, can you send me her paycheck? And every quarter, can you give me your business profit and loss statement? And then we're getting up and we're getting closer. And as if this wasn't bad enough, like pulling teeth, the week we were about to close, the broker calls me and he said, Andy, we need you to pay off all your credit cards. I'm like, they're zero every month. I pay them off. He says, no, we need you to pay them off in advance. Like, I said, wait, you mean the $300 that are on my credit card, you need me to pay that right now? He says, yeah, before Friday, before we close, that has to be zeroed out. Or you have to bring a check for $300 with you to the close. I mean, we got this house in 2017. So 14 years later, 10 years later, 13 years later, however long it is, these are the kind of things. The pendulum swings way the other way. Now, these are not always bad things. This one happened to be a little bit uncomfortable for me trying to get the house, but you get what I'm saying. These are the kind of indelible marks. And what happens as we go through these changes, there's always a revolution, right? We evolve. It doesn't need to be a revolt. It's just an alteration. And it reminded me of this time where I used to work for a large consultancy it's called Accenture now. It was called Anderson Consulting back then. And I was working for Amoco, which became British Petroleum, which rebranded back to Amoco in the U.S. And I would wear my suit and tie every day, 22 years old, 23 years old, 25 years old, right? Super fun, love to dress sharply. But the Amoco folks, they decided at some point that on pay Fridays, they were going to wear jeans to work. And it was kind of a treat. So every other Friday, and we had to keep track, so we showed up in the right dress attire. And then all of a sudden, it was every Friday. Then all of a sudden, more and more companies started doing it. Then it became every day, and so on and so forth. Now, I wear pajamas when I talk to you at live office hours, and half of you work from home and all this other stuff. But some of the evolution of these changes occurs slowly over time, and then it kind of catches fire when more and more companies do it. Now, where does that leave us today with what's happening, where a lot of you, the 400 of you that are here with me now, a lot of you are probably inside your houses, right? Depending on what your job is. But wouldn't you say that a lot of companies have been getting comfortable operating remotely for a long while now. And I think what's going to happen as part of this remote revolution is more and more companies are going to do it. That's not going to be a big surprise to you. It isn't. But there are going to be some changes that companies go through. And I actually think that while we've been queuing this up for a while and it's been slowly occurring, this ailment, this outbreak, this crisis that we are going through is going to make precipitous changes for a lot of companies. And you need to know that because it's going to be very much is going to affect what I'm going to tell you about what's going to happen to job interviews and what a lot of you are experiencing right now. As companies become more comfortable with remote workers, which they are going to do because they're getting baptism by fire, so to speak, right now, companies that are ill-prepared to operate remotely are having to operate remotely. Companies that were reluctant to let people work from home are going to get really comfortable really fast, and the way that occurs is because you will prove to them that you can operate independently from the comfort of your own home. Some of you are going to have a painful time with it. You got kids sitting on your laps, you got the dogs barking, you've heard mine, I'm sure. But you will make adjustments, companies will make adjustments, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to become a lot more comfortable with it, you're going to enjoy it. I like the 2 hours a day that I don't have to commute like I used to. I like not having to get on a plane. I used to love getting on a plane. I've seen a lot of cities. You know what I mean? So you're going to get comfortable. Your employers, they're going to like the fact that they can reduce that commercial office space that they've been spending a lot of money on. They are. My wife's son, Garrett, he works for a financial services company, big company, a lot of financial services support, credit cards, and so on. He used to have to go into the office every day. He works a 4-day shift. They work 4 10-hour days. And he's on the security team. They always wanted him going in. And he got sick. Somebody else got sick. This was a while back, a month or two ago, caught the flu or something. And so, we'll work from home. And then a couple of the teammates were working from home. The boss decides, you know what? Let's get everybody set up to work from home. This was before, this pandemic occurred, that they were really, that this was in their face. And by the end of next month, everybody on the team will be equipped to work from wherever they want. And he said, you guys could live wherever you want in the U.S., just like that. Now, they might have been well down the road. They might have already been in process. But this is not difficult today with the technologies that we have. It really is not. So a lot of you are going to be facing this. So where does that leave you? Well, that's going to change a lot of things for your searches, for the way your careers, the companies you might want to target, and so on. So why don't we get into some of the detail about how I would adjust what I'm doing. Now, whether you're job searching or not, I want you to be mindful of this because it's going to affect you. And some of you, it's going to affect you right away. Some of you, it's going to affect you in a month. And some of you, it's going to be 6 months. But either which way, I want you to understand why this is going to occur, who it's going to occur to faster. So let's take a look. I want to switch back to my slides. And I want to talk about these industries that I think are immediately at risk. Now, here again, I have seen, you know what? I've been appalled at what I have been seeing on the internets with trainers and coaches and the scare tactics and how they're telling you they're going to be massive. Yeah, there are going to be some layoffs. I don't want you to freak out about it. I want you to understand why they're going to occur, how I think they're going to occur, what this is going to mean for you, and what you can do. But I do think it starts with recognizing, am I in a situation where it's risky? Okay, now some of you might have been discovering this already, and some of you it might not have hit you yet. But I just want to take a look at a couple of these industries that are going to be hit immediately and what this is going to mean. You recognize while we are all in our homes or in our offices that we're not traveling, we're not going to parties, we're not going to bars, events are called off, the NBA is called off, right? Spring training, baseball, hockey, all these events. Anybody who's in event planning, right, sales, all that good stuff, concerts, any kind of large venues, they're going to get hurt, right? Now that'll come back, but for the short term, it's going to take a hit. Now, what I do think is going to, maybe I didn't get all the things in there. I travel, but the airlines, the hotels, all of those venues that are related to travel agents and things of that nature related to that industry is going to take an immediate hit and a longer term hit because, as I said before, as companies become more comfortable working remotely and people don't need to travel for meetings, they find out that video conferencing and Zooms and WebExes and all that good stuff is good to go and manageable. Business travel is going to go down. So that's going to be going to have a much longer term effect. Manufacturing, well, people in factories are not going to work. They're not manufacturing products, whatever those products are. So that's going to be affected for the foreseeable future. It's going to be hard to catch up. And the other companies that rely on manufactured goods to operate their businesses, like transportation, commercial transportation, large product transportation, is what I'm talking about here. This is different than personal distribution. Okay, so they're gonna take major hits. Commercial real estate. So what's gonna happen when organizations now, I don't need space for 200 people. I need space for 20 people or 50 people. I don't need those long leases. I don't need to pay all that money. And rents are going to be suppressed because people are not buying them. So rates are going to drop. That's going to affect commercial real estate lending, any kind of development and all that good stuff. So these are important things for you to know, as well as there's going to be a host of non-essential fallouts, technology items that people do not need It's going to drop. Retail clothing and other things when people don't have money to spend. Think about everybody in the hospitality. Think about if you run a bar or a restaurant, or you're a DJ, or you're in the spa and you're the massage therapist and you're not making money. It's going to take time to recover. You're not going to buy clothes. You're not going to buy purses. You're not going to buy those kind of things. All that stuff. You don't have money to buy a new car, right? Financially, you're not investing. The markets get hit. Those are all in the wake of the immediate industries that take the biggest hit. And then there's a domino effect. Okay, but it's not all bad news. It's not, because there are so many industries that are going to be on the rise. I ran out of real estate on this slide. I just want you to start thinking about companies and company types and industries that will actually thrive as a result of this unfortunate situation. Right? Wellness, healthcare of any kind, right, is going to boom. Payer, provider, in-company, anything related to that is gonna thrive. Pharmaceuticals are gonna go nuts. The biotech and research industries, nonprofits, social work, counseling, and all that good stuff. The government is going to need more people to handle the chaos, believe it or not. Right? And everything that's related to the support that the government's going to give us in order to get through this. Personal loans. You a real estate broker for loans for personal homes? You're going to be in business for 2 years. Well, everybody's going to want to be refinancing. These rates aren't going up for a long time. Right? So now I can go refinance my house if I want to pay off all my credit card debt, show them all my W-2s and all that good stuff, right? If you are in that field, you're going to have a lot of work, as well as grocery stores, chains, other, so not just in the stores, but a lot of the bartenders and all those folks are going to be moving into grocery style jobs for the stores themselves, but corporate, right? The chains are going to have a lot more to do related to people buying food. Think about, I went through my house the other day. I went mentally through my head. What do I do from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep? As I was putting this talk together for you, what is everything that I touched? Everything that you touch from the time you get up to the time your head hits the pillow, all those industries and anybody who supplies those kind of products, go for them. They're going to be in business, right? People are going to be at home more. They're cooking more. Home entertainment, and I'm talking about anything related to home entertainment, right? Gaming is going to become more popular, things of that nature. I got a whole gym inside my house, right? It's probably going to get bigger, and I'm probably going to get more equipment. I need the equipment. I need the stuff to clean it. I need everything that touches what I do. What about the home office? A lot of you were not equipped for this. Some of you are probably at your kitchen table right now with a kid or a cat or somebody crawling on you watching me, right? Give me a shout out in the chat if that's you. Actually, send me a picture to the support queue. Anything that's related to high-speed internet, communications, video conferencing. You're going to be having happy hours on Zoom for the next month, right? All that stuff is going. I did a coaching session 2 days ago with a woman in Boston or in the New England area. Normally what happens is we do the session via Zoom. It's recorded in about a half an hour to an hour after it's over, and then I send her the nice video of her and me talking for the coaching session. It took 2 days for that thing to get recorded because of the increased demand. I said to Kara, hey, can you get in the queue and see what's what? She says, I'm 219th in the queue. We're never more than 1 or 2 in the queue, right? So think about, go after those companies that are going to support that. Anything online, anything that you can think of, Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff, any social media, any streaming, Netflix, anything that can be done online, Hulu, whatever they are. Productivity tools, these are going to boom, right? Those rates are going to go up. More people are going to start using Slack and other whatever tools that they use to communicate. Just an example. But you get an idea. I would love to know, throw this in the chat, and maybe we can chime in, or Kara and Stacy can Slack this to me. Are there, okay, so like I said, this is just an abridged list of things that I thought of off the top of my head. Are there other industries that you think are really going to thrive? Contribute to the chat. Let me know that, right? This is, today is about support. Are there ideas that you can give, that we can share, that you can share with people in the chat? I would love to see it. I'm giving swag out at the end, so, get in there and make me proud and contribute to that chat. All right, so let's talk about what all this means. All right, so now you got the background. So what do you got to do? What do you got to do? All right, first thing, actually, you know what? I haven't been using my notes here. Hold on a second. So first thing is, the organized one is going to be the one that wins. The one that thinks ahead, that thinks smartly, as opposed to the one that keeps calling, Marriott, wondering why, they aren't calling them back, right? That's knocking your head against the wall. Don't do that. All right, so you're going to have to make some adjustments. Now, I want to talk with you about the spirit of this talk, the tactics and the techniques we're going to talk about. I know some of you have probably been following me for a while, a week, a month, a year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. Some of you probably found me this morning. I'm not going to go through every tactic I've ever given you in the 300 videos that are on my YouTube channel. I'm going to point you to the alterations that I want you to make in relation to everything I've already taught you. So if you're not sure what I mean when I say I need you to create a target company list, go out to my YouTube channel, type target company list, and watch the video. Okay, so that's the way we're going to go through this. Now, I need you, okay, I just got done talking for 10 minutes about companies that are falling and companies that are rising. Well, if your target company list was built 10 days ago and you're calling the hotels and the airlines, stop, right? You need to rethink that, and you need to go away from those organizations or industries or markets that you were targeting, and you need to rearrange the target company list based on companies that will thrive. Ask yourself, is this something the world is going to need right this minute? That's what you're looking for, okay? So shuffle it up, move all the other, just drop them to the bottom and reprioritize to make sure you are not wasting any time pursuing industries or markets that are going to take a huge hit. Okay? I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you, I care about you. So I don't want you burning a lot of time worrying about, well, why aren't they getting back to me? They're not going to get back to you. Okay? So you got to stop that. I need you to augment your list. Now, I always talk about this, that you are doing yourself a disservice. Okay, so a month ago, I would have told you, you are doing yourself a disservice if you are only targeting companies in your local area. Now, it's one thing if you work in the grocery store and you want to walk down the block and work, but a lot of you can work remotely. A lot of your positions can be operated remotely, and I've always said you need to start targeting organizations that are outside your area. Well, you really need to do that now. So when you look at, okay, I just got done telling the story about Garrett, right? So he's in his unit. Literally a month ago, they were in office every day, every shift they had to, let's try this out, to go live wherever you want. That's going to happen at a faster rate, but here's what's happening. Companies, now I don't want to get ahead of myself because interviewing is going to slow, but it's going to shift. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. But companies are going to start doing these video interviews. You're going to have more phone calls. You're going to have more video interviews. They're going to become more comfortable with people operating from home. There was a post I forwarded on LinkedIn from a friend of mine, Sean, who is the president of Y Charts, and he showed a picture of his empty office. He had somebody who was in the local area go into the office and take a picture. He posted it on social media as a positive message that, hey, bang, within one day, everybody was working from home and we didn't miss a beat. Okay, and we're going to thrive. And customer service didn't drop. There's a lot of that if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention to all the negativity and all the people in negative town, you're not going to see it. All right, so you need to make sure that you are targeting organizations outside your geography. I don't care if they have an office near you. Don't worry about that. The point is you need to spend more time with your reach outs. And I'll get to an asset you can use, but you should augment it. It's going to happen. It might not happen super immediate like Y charts did, but it will. And I'm going to tell you what else is going to happen for all of you that are getting your job interviews delayed. But you've got to, for purposes of where we're at right now in the talk, I need you to expand the geography. You need to network like crazy. Okay, now, I always wanted you to do this. I always wanted you to avoid the applicant tracking system. But right now, okay, I know that there's almost 500 of you here, but on a usual week for me, my live office hours is what, 150 to 200, sometimes more, because it's Thursday at 11 Central, because a lot of you are working, right? Well, why is it that so many people are here now? Same quality content, right? You're home. So you could turn me on at lunch, right? So, well, if I'm home and what's happening? Well, first off, a lot of you have more time because you're not commuting. Increased time. We'll talk about what I want you to do with that. But you're farting around too, and you're missing the human contact, and you can only play with the kids and the dogs so much, and you got more time. So those inbound emails that are coming to you, you want to read them, right? You want to reply back. And you're going through a tough time, and now your perspective is starting to get dialed in, and you're starting to pay attention to the networking, and you're thinking, I better get back to this person, or this is nice, and I do, hey, let's a few exchange, let's pick up the phone. Say hi. Have a cup of coffee over the phone, kind of thing. That's going to happen. Well, you need to increase this, and you're going to need to increase it at a great rate, because if companies are slowing down their interviewing processes, they're not going to stop, but they're going to slow them down. But when people are at home, right, they're going to have more time to respond. So, and people miss the human contact. They do. They really do. Okay. If you weren't avoiding the applicant tracking system before, if you thought it was tough getting your resume through before, I want you to imagine the pile that's probably quintupled in the application trashing system. So you're really going to have a hard time if you're going that route. And if companies are slowing down their interviewing, they're slowing down their interviewing for a couple reasons, which we're going to spend, I think, the next couple slides on. The applicant tracking system is just going to be that much more full. Okay? You've got a lot of people that are now not working. You've got a lot of people that will soon not be working. And so a lot of them are going to go to the path of least resistance, is they're going to look for job openings and they're going to start applying. And those job openings are going to be flooded with resumes. It's your worst route. Okay? I need you to do 1, 2, and 3 and not 4. All right? It's a big deal. Now, some of you I know are familiar with my job search challenge. It's free. It is the damn sweetest freemium you will ever get from anybody. I kid you not. It is a 5-part video series where I teach you how to do the job search challenge. Then I teach you how to target companies, how to identify people, how to act, what to say to them from a networking standpoint, and then all the problems you're going to have, and then I help you troubleshoot them at the end. 5 pieces. It's free. You create a free account in the Mile Walk Academy system, or if you have an account, just access it. I will talk about this at the end. This is going to become paramount. You're going to need to become an ace. This little white background italicized thing, that's job searching, people. It's not shoving your resume into the applicant tracking system. It isn't. You're not going to get ahead doing that. You're not going to get job interviews that way. Some of you will. Yes, you will. But most of you will not. So you're going to need to learn these skills. And I'm offering to you for free. So we'll talk more about that at the end. But that's something that I know a lot of you have gone through it. I think the first week we did it, 2,000 people went through it. So a lot of people are getting having a lot of good results. All right. So here's what you can anticipate as it comes to interviews. Now, you're going to have cancellations. There's absolutely no doubt about this. Why? Well, some companies are just going to flat out stop hiring. That's true. Okay, you know that. I just got done going through a whole list of industries that are going to take a huge hit. But there are other companies that are going to freak out. because they don't know how to handle working remotely. They don't know how long this is going to last. None of us do. I wish I did. If I did, I'd be in another line of business. And they're going to need to figure out their remote working situation. It ain't going to take them forever, okay? It won't. Set up the infrastructure. Interestingly, there will be hiccups. Stacy was telling me, we were chit-chatting the other day, and she was telling me how in her husband's working environment, that they don't have enough bandwidth to allow people to work remotely, so they're having to work in shifts. And sometimes you can get you work X number of hours, and then you get bumped off the system, and then you can't get back on until somebody else gets bumped off, and so on. There's going to be some of that. Work's going to slow down for some organizations that are not equipped to do this. Okay, there's going to be all kinds of different things happening, but companies that are already equipped to work remotely, of which you should have a clue of who those are because I gave it to you, but the only way you're really going to know is if you're reaching out to companies. Okay, so yes, you're going to have some delays. All right, that's okay. I want you to expect it. I want you to anticipate it. You're going to have an increase in phone interviews. I've given you phone interview skills. I've got an article about it. I talk about it in a lot of different videos. You're going to have more of those. All right. Now, what I think you're going to get a drastic increase in is there's two kinds of video interviewing. There's many, but there's one way where I open up the program. There's nobody on the other end. I'm asked a question and so on. I get a minute or two or three to answer it. I go on to the next one. Those are screening tools. I do not anticipate a huge increase in those beyond what would normally happen for companies that are using them as screening tools. Okay? I don't. I think, yes, they will grow, but they will grow at a rate that they normally would have grown otherwise. The two-way video interview, where somebody's actually on the other end, that's going to really increase. I would love to know in the chat, please share with me here. Are you guys seeing a precipitous uptick for those who are either getting their first interviews? Maybe it's a phone screen and then a video interview. Maybe some of you had in-person interviews scheduled that now shifted to video interviews. I would love to know if you are seeing that. Shout in the chat and let me know if that's the case. I would love to know that because I'm pretty dang sure. I mean, I'm seeing it in my job search boot camp where the people are going inside the program and letting me know, hey, this is switching to a video interview. I got a question about this. So I do want to talk about this a bit, but you should see a precipitous uptick. Now, for those of you who don't know this, I'm going to hold up my little book. I hope you can see it. Interview intervention, communication that gets you hired. Order it right away, people. We still have people in the warehouse that are picking it, packing it, and shipping it. If you do not have this book, get it, okay? It's practically free, all right? Literally, I paid for the book. I pay for all the services. I pay for the shipping. What you pay is $7 because I have envelope costs and I have warehousing, picking, and packing costs. Okay, so I'm asking you to chip in a little bit for that, but you get the book, you get the ebook, you get the audio book, you get some bonuses, and most importantly, not only is it the tactics, but this book and grabbing it for the mere $7 allows you to enter our private communities, the Mile Walk Academy Facebook group and LinkedIn group, which you can lean on, where I offer extra coaching. So, and you got more people. So grab that, but it's a great freemium. And maybe Kara, can you drop that in the chat? We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but grab that. It's $7. All right, video interviewing tips. Now, I got some videos out there. I shot 2 videos, beauties. One is a 20-point checklist that I go through every week like this. It's 20 minutes. It's awesome. If you have not seen it, please watch it. It's called Video Interview Tips for Job Seekers. I've got another one called HireView, How to Ace Video Interviews. So that one-way thing I was talking about. There's Spark and HireView and a bunch of them that are one. They're all the same. But basically, you get asked the question, nobody's on the other end, you're sitting there talking by yourself, and how to ace that. So I got 2 videos out there that I would highly recommend watching. However, I want to give you a few right now. All right, here we go. Framing, baby. Okay, this is framing. You see me? Folks, you see me? All right, where's, oop, that is not me. Hang on. Now you're seeing, oh dang, hang on 1 second. You're seeing the other side of my live TV, love it. Okay, this is framing. See the top of my head? All right, that's framing. How do I look? I'm in, I'm full. Do I look imposing and powerful? Okay, right? Like, I'm with you. Do not do this, okay? You look diminutive, and you look like you ain't there, right? It's like, you know, when you sit down at the table and then they sit down like this, right? So you need to make sure that you are framing it. That means you need to practice it. So get that set. That's a big, big deal. All right? So now I want you to eye contact. You're talking to the person. You're not doing this. I have to do this because I have to read the question. But when you are video interviewing, you are not looking at your screen. You are looking at your camera. Okay? So, and the camera, whatever you use, should be dead-eye center. So I'm not like this. I'm not like this. Don't, you know, you don't want that either. Right? So you want to stay in the frame, and you want to stay level with the camera. Pile up the books, get a tripod, I don't care. A lot of you are going to be working from home on an ongoing basis. You might want to buy a little, what you're watching, like live office hours, week in and week out, I have a super high powered camera that I use when I create like recorded videos. But when we do live office hours, this is a Logitech 1080p C922, I think. Not much money. Probably less than $100. But you just plug it right in to your computer, and you can, you put on a tripod. Mine sits on my monitor. For those of you that I have a 27-inch monitor. Bang. Hey, wouldn't you know it? It's just like, and I'm a little guy, so I just, it's right there. But you want to make sure that you're doing that. And the other thing is, always. Now I let you see my sunroom, but if I didn't have lights behind the camera, my face would be jet black because the sun is behind me. So it's going to wreak havoc. Now, if you don't have to have big, powerful lights. If you have a video interview in the daytime, the best thing you can do is have the back of the camera up against a window where the light is coming. It doesn't even need to be sunny out. You need no lights, and you can do it that way. But you want the lights on the other side of the camera always so that you can see yourself. Okay? And here's the other one. You might be surprised, but the survey says, and I'm telling you for sure, audio matters more than the video. So, I have a microphone. You don't need a super powerful microphone, but you do not want to sound like you are in a well. They need to hear you. I don't care if you're model good looking or you're as good looking as John G., my friend out there, my brother from another mother. You got to make sure that your audio is in order. So if you are using a laptop mic, it is not going to sound good. If you are sitting, okay, my office is large. Okay, if this microphone is not right to my mouth, or I'm not super close to it, and I've got all the doors open, and so there's echoes and it drowns out the sound. If you are in a room, you might want to make sure that the doors are closed, that you put a rug, if there's a gap between the door and the hallway or whatever. Make the room somewhat soundproof so you don't have a lot of echoing. Believe me, it doesn't matter what you're saying. If they cannot hear it effectively, it's going to go badly. Okay? So I don't care what you do. And I really don't recommend you doing a lot of things with your earbuds and all that other good stuff. It does look a little silly. Look, I don't care if you're chit-chatting with your friends or you're doing this for your video, your work meetings, but this is an interview. Give yourself every advantage. Now, you don't need a microphone this powerful. I have a pop filter. I have all kinds of stuff for this thing. But you certainly don't need one of those things that people leave in the view of the thing to look cool or whatever. You just want to make sure that you've got a good enough microphone. There are microphones, lapel mics that I can clip in that you can put right into your laptop or your computer, and you'll have a great quality sound. When I want to shoot an Instagram IGTV or something, I have a little microphone that'll go right into my iPhone. And the sound quality is 1,000 times better than if I just hold it like this. You can use those. And then there's just little splitters or whatever that go right into. It's simple stuff, but it is worth it. It is worth it. This is huge. It's huge. Huge deal. It's going to become really, really important. And then those are the videos that I mentioned. They're out there. If you go to my YouTube channel and type video interview, those will come up. All right. Now, that's looking good on the camera. Now, I got more suggestions in those video interviews about the applications, how you set this up, the lighting, and all that good stuff. So I would check that out. All right. Well, John G., you use earphones, but you're so handsome it doesn't matter, man. All right. Employers are going to now become more conscious of your remote working skills. So what am I talking about? Well, you know they're going to ask you. Oh, sorry, guys. Hang on a second. I was clicking in the wrong spot. There we go. Organizational skills. All right, so let's run through these really quickly. I want to draw your attention. These are the skills that they're going to be paying extra. Tell me about a time when you organize something. How do you work independently? Time management, right? Communication. Motivation. Are you self-driven, disciplined, right? How are your processes, and so on. Hang on. All right. Technical proficiency. Now, you don't need to be like a Java coding guru. I'm just talking about, can you get the video equipment working? Can you run Excel? Do you know how to turn the computer on? Can you manage and all that good stuff? So you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for that stuff. Now, you also have some additional things that you now need to evaluate. This is going to last, people, right? This is going to go on. So, what's your outlook and strategy on the current crises? What are you doing to position yourself for the future, right? What are the risks that you anticipate, seen and unforeseen, like controllable and uncontrollable? What could happen to you? Do you work with vendors that could go out of business? Suppliers? What are you doing to overcome those things? Kind of stuff, right? How are you positioned? Are you making sure that business can go on as usual? Excuse me. What did you do in the midst of the crisis? I want to know. Why do you want to know this? Because you want to know how they handle crises. You want to know how they handle unexpected change. What did you do to support your employees? These are damn good questions, people. Do not think that this is aggressive. If you don't ask these things, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really are. And I would be really shocked. And I'd be a little suspect about hiring you if you didn't. What surprised them? What plans did they have in place for something like this? What have they put in place since? You want to know this. This is a test of their mettle. What do you expect to change going forward? Right? I'm sure it's not all fixed. It's only been a few days. Wait, think about how much has happened since last Tuesday, meaning 9 days ago. When Jay asked me that nice question, I gave you my opinion, and all of a sudden, between that time and now, I literally had to change my entire schedule this week so we could do this today. Repackaged my digest. I have a special event for you. Everything's changed in a matter of days. Well, I'm a small company. I can do that. I care about you, so I'm driven to do that. But companies, are they equipped to handle things like this? This stuff happens. It does. It might not always look like this. It might not be always front page news, but it happens. All right. Now, I mentioned that I want you to send a lot of reach outs. So I want to talk just a little bit about following up. I've talked about this at length. I've given you, kind of Andy's golden rules, but I want you to go nuts on the networking. I want you to target people inside thriving organizations. I want you to contact all your peeps, all the people you've worked with. I don't care where they're working. Start getting connected. But I would be gentle on everybody. Do not, if somebody doesn't get back to you right away, you have no clue what they're going through. All right, none, mind you. So I want you to send them, okay? But internally, I want you to have no expectations about their responses or how soon you think they should get back to you or what they should tell you or whatever. Okay? So you're going to have a lot of first dates on the emails, so to speak. I would rather you concentrate on the firsts. Get them out. Get them moving. All right? I still say the 7-day rule applies. So if you send Andy an email, Andy, I see you run this, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested in this and that. I want to get connected. In 7 days, it is okay to reply. Why? It's still a decent amount of time. You don't need to be too aggressive. Your follow-ups should be incredibly short anyway. Hey, Andy, I sent this to you a week ago. I know times are crazy right now for everybody. I just wanted to follow up. You want to move it out to 10 days, 14 days, that's fine. Okay, but it's not a big deal if you follow up with me a week later. I got emails daily. I get, hey, did you read my email from yesterday? Did you email from Tuesday? Like that kind of stuff. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so it's okay to do that, but just have go easy on people. Use your judgment. Okay, now if you get an interview, all right, you go into the interviews, you do the phone thing. You do the video thing or whatever. Now, remember, just to remind you, companies might be slowing these down. They might need to be figuring out what's what. They're probably wanting to keep going because they know at some point they're going to have to hire again, these companies that are going to thrive. Okay, so I always want you to get what? 3 things every single time. 3. What are the magical 3? Who's going to contact me? When are they going to contact me? Right, sorry. What are the next steps? Who's going to contact me? And when are they going to contact me? I don't know. I just work here. Okay, what would typically be the next step? I recognize we're in a crazy time. Well, what's usual? Look, just because they slow things down, most of them will not actually change the sequencing of their process, right? They're still going to go through the steps they're going to go through. They just might go through them differently. What would that normally look like? Okay, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, what would it look like? Right? Just ask them. Okay, the recruiter's going to get back to me? Great. When do they usually get back to me? Okay, a couple days? Great. Okay. So you got to know when you think they're going to get back to you so that you can follow up appropriately. If they say, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow, you give them 1 grace day. They say, I'm going to get back to you in 2 days, you give them a 1.5 grace day. They say, I'm going to get back to you in 7 days, you give them 3 days grace days. That kind of stuff. So, and if they don't give you anything, I still want you to follow up in 7 days. You can still be persistent, okay? It's okay, right? They've got to keep moving through their process. Hey, I just wanted to check in. You can throw in, I realize we're in the middle of a, unprecedented situation, but I just wanted to check in. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I want you to you got to stay consistent. And here's the other thing you got to remember on the follow-ups. When you are sending your initial inquiries to companies, if you are not hearing back and you go out 7 days or whatever, that's fine. I would give them another, say, 2-3 weeks beyond that. And it's okay because my guess is most companies in a month are going to have this sorted out. Now, I have no idea what the world is going to look like in a month. But one thing I do know that's going to happen within a month is companies who have had to make the adjustments, going to remote work, getting everybody situated, getting everybody the machines and the machinery and the internet access they need. That's going to be figured out. Okay, it will be. And any company who can't figure that out within a month, they're not going to be around anyway, so you ain't going to have to worry about that. Okay, so just keep Keep all that in mind. All right, now, here's what I want you to do. So I've given you some of the changes. So I'm gonna recap here some things that you can take advantage of. Virtually everything on this page is free, except I'm gonna mention a couple of the other things. We got a lot of free. If you are not on my email list, people, give me, Kara will get you in there. Download anything you want. That gets you on the email list. On Tuesday, I'm going to kind of recap this video for you. I'm going to give you kind of a list of, I don't know what I'm calling it, my coronavirus toolkit or whatever. It's got to be on the email list to get the list, the links, and all that other stuff. I'm all over the social sites. Now, if we are not connected on LinkedIn, why the hell not? Okay, send me a LinkedIn connection request so you can leverage my network, which is vast. I'm connected to a lot of people. You can use my network. I'm happy, and I like to know who's in my community. Let's just get connected, right? That way we can follow each other. That way I can see what you're doing, and I can read it in my feed. You can read my stuff in your feed and all that good. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram, if you are not following me on Instagram, every single day I give you a quote of inspiration, and we started, actually, Stacy can confirm this, and I don't know if it's gone out yet today, but you're going to get a video every day on Instagram, IGTV. It's going to be like a 2 to 3 minute or 1 to 3 minute or whatever it is, and it's going to go out every day. And so that'll be there. It'll all be nicely packaged. So follow me and get connected with me on those sites. Go to the Mile Walk Academy site. You will be blown away by all the free stuff. There's nobody that gives more stuff away than I do. They just don't. And that's okay. And it isn't even all on there. So between that and my YouTube channel, you should be able to figure it out. But I would definitely, if you are not sure, you can always email support@milewalk.com. The Job Search Challenge, it's a 5-day program. We give you a video a day for 5 days. We give you a welcome email in the first video right away. And then what happens is each day for the next 4 or 5 days, I send you an email with a lesson and an access to the video inside your system. We kind of pace it. It's very, very cool, but those are skills you're going to need. You're going to need them now. Okay, so if you are still stuffing your resume into the applicant tracking system, you're going to have a tough time. All right. Now, next Thursday, I got an awesome one. Now, you got more time on your hands. You do, because you're not commuting. You might still be working a lot, but you got time. And even if you don't, you need to make the time to skill up. I'm going to talk with you about the 12 activities that you need to be doing. Number 1, to accelerate your career. Number 2, to make sure that you are making yourself indispensable so you do not get let go. And it's really, all of these things will be about how to upskill and how to go about planning to upskill and how to go about upskilling and all that good stuff, which is something everybody should be thinking about all the time, but especially right now. And that's called Catapult Your Career. And the sweet thing about that is not only is it free, but if you get in by Sunday, if you go to the Mile Walk Academy site, it's like right at the top. You just click it and then you just put your name in. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I've got a beautiful email lesson each day. I pour my heart and soul into these folks. Like there's the story, and then there's the action item, okay? And then that's Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'm going to send you an email with the workbook. There's a workbook that's going to allow you to follow along with my session next Thursday. It'll kind of be, it ain't going to be slide like, I'll be talking direct to camera because I like direct to camera better. I feel like we're connected that way. But it's really good. You'll be able to follow along. It's really sweet stuff. It's really sweet. It's free. And then I mentioned the interview intervention book. So this thing is, get it today because they're still at the warehouse picking them. Okay? So grab that. It's going to help you with your interviewing skills. And then if the least expensive way to get in the private communities. Now, when I say the Mile Walk Academy community, you are all in my community. If you are here with me, I count it. I love you, okay? If you're on my email list, that gives me a chance to share with you. If you get the interview intervention book or the Out of Reach but Insight book for the $7, the free book offer for $7, so kind of, I know it's a little oxymoron, but you get what I'm doing. you can get in the private groups, so the LinkedIn group and the Facebook group. So you can get in the private groups where I don't let anybody in. You got to do something to invest in yourself. So the $7 to me is investing in yourself. So do that. We send you a welcome. You can get in the groups. All right. If you also take advantage of any of my freemiums, which I think are awesome, and you don't even need to take my word for it, because there's tons of testimonials. There's tons of video testimonials. There's tons of social proof. You can look anywhere you want. You will see people loving these programs. If you're job searching, my boot campers are going to get a lot of instruction like this to make sure that they are positioned to overcome all this stuff. And the program is deep. It's 5 modules, very organized. But the most important things for you to understand right now about it is not only is it structured and all that good stuff, and it'll help you with the speed, even amidst these times, but I'm going to be live privately with the boot campers so they can ask me their scenarios. And you get lifetime access, but you get lifetime attendance to the more than 24 private coaching sessions throughout the year. So if you jump in at any point, so on April 3rd, on April 17th, on May 1st, I'm going to be with them. Okay, because number one, I like to be with them anyway, but they need me now more than ever. So we're gonna have to break this down for them. So all that's in the job searching program, and then my leadership program. If you are considering upskilling, this is the absolute best program, because not only do I give you monthly private coaching, I give you a $400 career accelerator program, which is really sweet. Any enrollment gets you that. But look at some of these topics that I've covered. Unexpected change, habit building, energy, the power of your personal story. Remember I opened up with, hey, every story, the really great ones start with, so there was this time when I got crushed. Well, this is going to be the beginning of a lot of your stories. You need to know how to tell this. Personal branding, how to focus, and so on. The Catapult Your Career is a freebie that I'm going to give you as well. That's going to be on Thursday. And then on Friday, I'm meeting with the 27th. I'm meeting with my leaders. So the week from tomorrow, on remote working. I'm breaking it all down on how to be incredibly productive. And I know there's a lot of stuff floating around the internets for free about that, very basic. But I'm going to give you the deep dive of the 16 years and how I make this all work and how I put out a lot of stuff. So those are some things you can consider. And I do want to cap this off with, we're going to go to questions here in a second, but I want to talk about one thing. What are you doing with this additional time to upskill yourself? I would love for you to go in the chat and let me know what it is you're doing to take advantage of this time to make sure that you are using it productively. I understand some of you you're laid off immediately, right? If you work in a bar, you ain't working. You work in a spa, you ain't working, right? Those kind of things. You work in the beauty parlor, you ain't working, right? I understand that. So you might be looking for a job. That's okay. That's cool. But some of you, 90 some odd % of you are still working, right? Or at least you're working now. So what are you doing to take advantage of this time? And some of you might be, I'm getting positioned to job search. That's cool. I respect that, and you should. But others, you've got time to grow your skills. What are you doing? Let me know in the chat. I want to thank everybody. First off, thank you for coming. Really, thank you for coming. If you're watching this on the recording, I hope you enjoyed this hour-long session. I'm going to leave it up. I'll probably clip it out and package it up. Maybe release it Tuesday, because while this is very current and necessary for people, for all of you that are watching this on the recording, so long. I'll see you soon. For everybody here, let's go to the chat. But I want to call out some of these. Oops. Want to call out some of these. Let me get that. Boom. Let me just get my. Oop. No, don't do it. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Hold on. I want to give a call out to the folks that Todd Childers, residential delivery services, right? I mean, I get UPS is taking a hit, but they're going to come back with a vengeance. I mean, they're going to come back strong. Those are companies that you can be targeting. Online education, absolutely, without a doubt. Delivery system. Okay, there you go. UPS, Selena, beautiful. FedEx, DHL, online learning, video comms. Dana, thanks for that. Paula Gomez, higher demand for job coaching. You know what? I will tell you this. I wake up every day. I mean this. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I don't wish any changes on. I just want the people who need me to find me when they need me. I don't like crises like anybody else. I don't like good markets. I don't like bad markets, meaning I don't, the universe doesn't know what's good and bad. It doesn't. It doesn't. I just pray for whoever needs me will find me when they need me. If they need my free stuff, they can take my free stuff. If they want to pay and get the deeper coaching, I'm there for that too. And yes, there will be. So one thing that I want to encourage you to do. So Paula, thank you for that. I want you all, actually Kara, I know I'm audibling here on you, but I have a video out there about how to evaluate coaches, online coaches, and how to look for the right mentors and coaches, I think it is. It's something like that. And I really want you to watch that. I don't want you all to go off and rush and buy stuff, okay? I don't, not even mine. I really don't. If you are comfortable with me and you like my boot camp or you like my leadership program and you want to get in that, believe me, I'm all, arms are wide open. But I do not want you to panic and all of a sudden start buying stuff from people, okay? Don't let them do that to you. Take my job search challenge. Go through that process. Get an understanding of what you're in for. Really. That job search challenge, the first 4 videos are about 30 minutes. The last video is 50 minutes. Okay? That's 3 hours of coaching like this, going through how to job search. Go grab that. It's free. Okay? If you like it and you want more help and you want to jump in the job search bootcamp, that's great. Those are different, right? The job search challenge is a free challenge. The job search bootcamp is much more substantial. Much more substantial. Okay? And so, we're happy to give you a discount on the Job Search Bootcamp program. I don't even think we've gone to the page yet and done a coronavirus discount because I almost don't, I think it looks like you're preying on people. And that's not me. I will extend a discount to all of those that want to get into it, the $100 discount that we often do during our promotions. But I really would prefer that you go through my free stuff and get to know me a bit and trust me and I know what I'm talking about. And I would really like you to watch my how to evaluate online mentors and coaches because there's a lot of, look, anybody who's got one of these folks can go be a coach. Hi, I'm a coach. Okay? Don't let them do that to you. There's a reason that you see all the stuff you see from me. There's a reason we go through the talks the way we go through them. The best coaches in the world know how to take their actual experience. I cannot say that enough times. Their actual experience. Package it up, reverse engineer it, package it in a manner that they can deliver it to you so that you can take it and go out and do something with it effectively that inspires you with confidence and the right tactics. Okay, there's a huge difference. You got to be able to know which is which. So watch that too. All right, I love this. So whoever almost made me cry there, Actually, Paula Gomez, can we give Paula Gomez some swag? I haven't announced this yet. I haven't announced this. But I don't know if it's actually, maybe I need to open this up. Let me see. Underneath this video, is the swag showing? I don't know. Hang on, I'm looking. Oh, it's not, it might not be show. Oh, it is. Well, if you scroll down on your page, there's mugs. You can get the Mile Walk Academy Inspiration mug. You can get the Live Office Hours mug. If you're a boot camper or a leader, you can get t-shirts and hoodies and we're going to go through a whole thing. If there's anything you guys want, let me know. If you need me to design it or whatever, because I can pop these up now. But I needed to get the swag store going. So can we get Paula Gomez, wherever she lives in this world, a mug? You pick one of those, inspirational mugs with the quote on the back, or the Live Office Hours mug, or whatever you want. You can get any color and all that good stuff. Paula Gomez, email support@milewalk.com. Tell us what you want. Virtual homeschooling for sure. My wife, she's a teacher. She's going to be home now. She was on a webinar with a woman teaching about some kind of online something or another. 1,500 people or whatever was on there for sure. IT Bloom as well as the cloud. Online personal training. Robert Griffin. Can we give that guy wait, Robert, are you, give that guy some swag. Robert, email support. Chun Min, my boot camper. Brandy, cleaning supply, for sure. All this stuff. It is HR in hospitals, you better believe it. Policy stuff. All y'all HR folks out there, you better know policy. I mean, this is going to be huge. Online retail. Joe Winter. Can we get Joe Winter, my boot camper, some swag for that? You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. That's fantastic. How about, what are you doing? What are you doing to get, I don't know if Kara can start feeding me some questions. And I would love to know, let me see if I can zip down and I could find where you guys are. Let me see if I can do this in the chat. Hey, Kara, can you let me know? Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Can you, I'm trying to find in the chat where I yelled out, where did I yell out, hey, what are you guys doing to upskill? Here we go. Wait, come on, Kara, slow on the draw here. I know, she's probably doing like 80 things. Hang on, hold on. I don't want the questions yet. I wanted to know what they're doing to uptick. I'm trying to find it. Hello, Kara, come on. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can find this in the chat. Sorry about this, guys. I know I said somewhere, what are you doing to level up? All right, well, let me take some questions. Kara, go find that. Come on, I want to see that list. All right, Evelyn O. from New York. Let me see if I can actually, I might be able to, 1204. Oh, whoa. Get in here. Can you wish all my people good luck with this coronavirus epidemic?
With social distancing.
we don't social distance in
you
the
guys
house.
Stay safe. Good luck. This will pass. Just keep a positive attitude. And this morning, I just wrote down all the things I was grateful for, even during this time. And it's really helpful to be intentionally grateful.
Thanks, Linda. My lovely wife, Linda, with a Y, in case any of you want to send us gifts. No, I'm just kidding. Love you. Thanks.
I need some swag, honey.
Okay, we're gonna work that. You know what? I haven't even been shouting it out because I ordered the samples because I wanted to see what this stuff looked like. But we're gonna send some out because that's the way we roll. All right, Evelyn O, my boot camper at 12:04. Hey, all, should we change our boss hunting letters to reflect our sensitivity to what's going on around us before we get into why we are contacting them, not to come across cold? Okay, so perhaps the first paragraph should say, hope all is well with you and your family during this difficult time we are facing. Evelyn O, you score. Get her some swag. Evelyn O, you know where to find me. Just go out, and if you want a boot camp or sweatshirt or something, you just let us know, and we'll send it on over to you in New York. I do think that we need to be mindful of I do think that we need to be mindful of this. Yes, I do think you can alter anything that you want, and you could and should probably lead with something like that. There's no doubt. But can I say something? And maybe this is kind of a part to what Evelyn is asking, and part to what I want you guys to know. Yes, this is very important. Meaning the coronavirus is very impactful. It's making a lot of hay and changes for all of us. But one of the best things that you can do to get through this, right? And get through it, kind of like my wife was saying, stay in your routines as much as possible. It's important. Now, you might have to create some new routines, but I don't want you to trash everything that you're doing. I, as a business owner and an employee, am going to continue to give you a steady diet of job searching advice, of career development advice. To catapult your career is something you need to know. I'm not going to slow that down and stop all this stuff that makes my business tick the way it ticks and is strategically in line with what I want to deliver for you in the way of job searching and career development curriculum and leadership and self-help and high performance stuff. It all is still coming. Okay? Yes, we are going to be aware, and I am going to channel in how this situation can affect the advice, but I ain't stopping. Okay? I mean, we're going. I'll be here. You right? You know where to find me. This stuff's going to keep coming. And I'm not going to qualify every one of my social media messages with that. Now, in Evelyn's case, that is an excellent idea. And I do think that that is good for you to do as you reach out to the bosses and the recruiters and when you recruiter hunt and HR hunt and all that good stuff. So that's awesome. Kara said 1204 is where I started asking people, man, between why is my wait, this is really funny. My iPad's on and it's somebody must be watching me. Let me see. Wow, look at all the 1204. Taking computer gaming networking classes. Awesome. Gino, how you doing? John G, handsome job. My brother from another mother. Signed up for a few courses. I love it. Sherry D, gonna learn how to speak Spanish and gonna take the CEU courses. I love it. Karen Braswell, my boot camper, MSN and LinkedIn both have excellent online tutorials, and there are courses and other online sources. They are. Bobby Caskey, Andy, yes, you are a boot camper and a leader. What's the best way to shine? All right, wait, there's a question. Hang on. Mobile haircuts. You ain't kidding. Hold on. My wife is laughing because she heard that. My wife, her salon is closed down. Now, fortunately, I got my hair cut yesterday. And when I came home, she says, oh, man, you got your hair cut. My salon closed. I'm like, yeah, but your hairstylist lives next door to us. Literally lives next door to us. It's like, I'm sure you can pop over or she can pop over. But you're right. You're going to have to do it. It's great. Extra time learning from me. Thank you, Gerardo. Love it. Anne-Marie Trost, thank you. Learning classes from LinkedIn. Mary, masterclass. Myron, how are you? Definitely glad to hear from you. Stay blessed yourself. That's awesome, folks. All right, let me get to some questions here. Kara is feeding me some questions. Varun, let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get it. Hey, if you're loving this, will you click the thumbs up button? You know how much I live for those likes. I just do. I know it sounds terrible, but I do. It lets me know that I am helping you. So we still got, almost 400 of you here. Click the little thumbs up button. Share this. Do you have any idea how many people can benefit from this? They really can, and I want to help them. I really do. So click the little thumbs up button if you like it. All right, Varun, I don't think I can actually get your thing up here on the but I got this. This is a great question. So Varun is asking me, would I wear a jacket while doing a Zoom interview or just a solid shirt? This is awesome. Okay, Varun is a dude. He's my age. My brother from another mother from Canada. And so we got the boys and we got the girls. All right, guys, here's what I would suggest. If it's a place where you are accustomed to suits like financial services and things of that nature, and you're a suit and tie kind of place, I would do that. I would go full business attire. If your industry is business casual, you could go business casual. A shirt that's pressed and buttoned down is okay. A sport coat is okay. You might want to do that. Leave it on for half the call. You could take it off, whatever. That's fine. Always, always, always solid shirts. Okay? Now, you might see me sometime wearing a goofy, I only got so many shirts, people. I'm live every day, so I can't, I only got so many shirts, which is why sometimes you see me in my t-shirts and my workout shirts and my whatevers. But for you, Don't do it. Don't chance it. You don't want anything noisy. Now, I got a lot. That stuff's not too noisy. But if I was doing this and I was doing a video chat, I would do this. Okay, I would do something like this to cut out all the stuff behind me. But this is just easier for me to sit. The way my desk is laid out this way, because it's a built-in and it rolls out in a perpendicular angle, this is just easier for me. So, but I would try to do something where I didn't have a lot of noise behind me. Watch the pictures and the noise. If you have books and all that stuff, that's actually, even though there's a lot of books, it can work for and against. It's a nice backdrop, but also you might find them reading which books you have. Okay, so like you need to be mindful of those kind of things. All right, now ladies, same kind of thing applies. I would say go for whatever the appropriate dress is for your position. Please, ladies, do not drop the cut on the line. I mean it. Do not do anything to distract the guys, come off weirdly. I want you to look good. You can put your makeup on, all that good stuff. High necklines. Okay, I don't want you showing anything off. It's believe me, it does not come across well. It really does not. So just, it doesn't matter if you want to wear a suit coat or a blouse or a button-down shirt or whatever. Just make sure the neckline's high enough. I mean, be reasonable. Okay, I mean that seriously, not joking. All right, that's a great question, Varun. Jesse Brady, I'm being told by friends with senior positions at large companies that hiring is slowing, delayed in response to the failing economy. Any advice to navigate lack of responses from companies? Jesse, great question. That's what I went through in the talk. Keep in mind, some companies are going to say, hey, we're putting things on hold. Putting things on hold could be a week. Putting things on hold could be a month. Putting things on hold could be never again, kind of like we're in survival mode. Some companies are in total chaos, not sure what their future entails. Other companies are trying to figure out how do we make sure that we got enough bandwidth so we can work remotely. All right, that's just a delay. Okay, a couple of weeks to a month. All right, what you should do is just make sure to follow up. Say, okay, do you anticipate picking up this position anytime soon? That's if you're engaged and then they squash it. If you are not getting a response, go back to my checkpoints. Are you targeting, United Airlines and Marriott? Okay, well, no kidding. They're not going to get back to you, right? They're in crisis mode. They're worried about laying off people, right? So just think about that. But I would go back to the checkpoints that I gave you. Christian, Andy, looking forward to it. How can I keep a company interested if they canceled the interviews due to COVID? What I would do is this is a great question. I would send them an email, say, I very much understand. I very much understand. I do, right? That this is the situation. I want you to know, number one, I'm greatly interested in your organization. Number two, I will be happy to stay in touch. Or would you please consider me as you pick this up again? Is there a time frame you'd like me to follow up? Or something like that. It's okay. You can go off the script for these situations because everybody gets what's happening. Okay? That's not being weird. It's being thoughtful. It's being responsible. And it's saying, hey, I would like to know when to follow up. That's it. And off you go. Tony P. Is Tony P here? Kara, is Tony P actually here? Tony P, my boot camper. I don't know if you are here. I love you, brother. You know I do. He's got a question, and he said, so Tony P is from Dunedin, Florida. He wants to know how to follow up. He was to be hired as a contractor, went through an interview process, including a surprise panel interview. He followed up with the thank yous. This was 6 days ago. Yesterday, the ops VP follows up and says that due to the virus, they are shutting down any work with consultants or new hires moving forward. This is going to happen. He's not sure when this will be reinitiated. At this point, he'll let me know if anything changes. So, Tony, what I would say here is I would give you the same advice that I gave. I think it was Jesse. is you need to respond to them. It's not the rejection letter, right? It's thank you very much. I completely understand. I want you to know I completely understand. I'm greatly interested in your organization. Please let me know when your hiring freeze is lifted. I'd be happy to revisit this at that time. And I also would be open to working under whatever arrangement is most appropriate for you at that time, whether that's a full-time or contract or whatever. That's the way I'd go about it. It's not a lot of these responses for Tony and anybody else. It's not like, we don't need to be overly clever here. Thank you so much. I completely understand. I want you to know I'm very interested. I would be open to reinitiating this. Those are your points. That's it. You don't need to get fancy. At this moment, it's not about going into sell mode. Okay? What you want to say is, I even though I need this job or I want this job, I feel for you. You're better off being empathetic. It's true. Greatly true. All right, Tony P., because you're my beloved boot camper, can you send me an email at support@manwalk.com and let me know which you can pick a boot camper thing? I got like shirts and long sleeves and I got hoodies, and you can have whatever you want, because that's the way we roll. All right. Yun Hee, do you think they would increase the number of candidates for video interviewing at the last round? I do not. They're not going to, while they will be video interviewing, they're not going to increase the number of candidates. They're not going to take more time. That is a great question. That is one thing I don't anticipate. Just because they have the ability to do this does not mean they want to take more time. Okay, so if they've got 3 candidates in that they like, that they roll through, they get it down to the end, they pick one, that's it. I'm not gonna spend a lot more time. I really am not. Why? I got a lot more other stuff to figure out. I had to, like I said, even my own little business, I mean this in a good way. I completely revamped my entire week to do this with you today. So what that did is it just stalled everything else that I'm not stopping, still coming. I still got to prep for next week, which I was supposed to do this week, but I wasn't able to because I had to prep this, right? Because I wanted to. I didn't have to do this, but I want to. This is what you need now. You need this. So companies are going to do that. They're not going to go and spend more time trying to interview. They got other stuff that they got to figure out. But that's a great question there. Bobby Caskey, Andy John, yes, you are. What's the best way to shine? You are an expert in managing remote teams. Well, thank you for that. Kara is always. I love it. I'm reading, and we're on a delay. Okay, so I just said that 10 seconds ago or whatever, and then Kara puts in more, and then it moves the thing I'm reading. All right, let's go back. Start over. Andy, job search. So Bobby Caskey, yes, you are my leader and my boot camp member. What's the best way to shine? You're an expert in managing remote teams on your resume, and should it be on the cover letter? So Bobby, I'm not sure exactly if you're asking me, in the cover letter, if you are asking me, should you highlight those 5 or 6 key points about organization, discipline, time management, and so on, processes, you would be well suited to put that in a cover letter. You could say, especially if if this is an environment that is going to be effectively working remotely, you might want to elongate. I stress elongate your cover letter, meaning I would not take "I'm a great remote worker" and replace it with your money accomplishment, in addition to being super awesome at that. I'm comfortable working, or I have skills that would also make me a great remote employee, such as, and so on. Yes, that is a great point. Sanjitha, looking for HR positions. How's COVID affecting these positions? When the COVID number starts to decline, will the recruitment start ramping up? When to expect something positive? So Sanjita, I wish I could tell you I knew when that would be. I'm not sure where you are located. Obviously, each country is different. So Italy, my beloved ancestors, are going through, because I'm all Italian, are going through a very, very rough time. And I weep every night for that. And that's terrible. And I don't know when that ends. And then there are other countries that, where, like in China, where this first starts, they're out in front, right? Like they're the first ones to react and the first ones to address it. And then you got the US where, we're slow to respond and then we're fast to respond. So hopefully we're blunting that spike in cases. And it really, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to dispense advice. I want everybody to take this stuff seriously. I do not want you to overly panic and watch the news all day, every day, or have it running in the TV in your office. Like, I want you to be calm, and I want you to expect that there are going to be HR positions that are required, and they are going to be, I would especially target those industries that I mentioned. There's going to be all kinds of policy. Can you imagine? Every single place I've gone to, I went into the spa. I had a massage last week. Go in there. What'd they make me do? Got to sign forms now. More forms than I had to sign before. Right? COVID ID. All the policies at work are going to start changing. There's going to be a whole host of other things, right? With HIPAA laws and all that stuff. All that stuff requires extra work and people to do that from a human resources capacity. And if they've got an HR person and that now has to take up time to do that, that means other things aren't getting done, which means they need more resources to help them backfill or whatever. So it will decline. This will not go on forever. We will figure this out. This world is filled with smart people who'll get this. Not to mention, where most of us are in our houses most of the time. And so hopefully that will blunt the growth. But I would be going like crazy. According to that slide, I'd go back and rewind it to the industries that I think are on the rise, and I would target those and all the nice people that contributed to what was going on with some of the additional industries that they mentioned. And Kara, as a matter of fact, we should like package that up and make that part of our survival toolkit kit for the coronavirus. All right, Stacy, make sure we got the chat so we can get that stuff. Daniel Miller. Even with the coronavirus, should you still send out networking messages to 3 companies a day? All right, Daniel Miller, great question. What he's referring to is in my challenge. I say 3 a day. Daniel, I'd go 30 a day if I could, right? So, maybe 30 is a lot, but you know what I mean? Go 10. When I say increase, I'm not sure when you asked this. 10. Okay, so you asked this before the show even started. I'm not kidding. You need to be targeting companies. You do. Don't stop. Do not stop. Don't stop. You stop, what happens? You don't make progress. You're gonna have to contact them eventually. Contact them. See what happens. Follow up in a couple weeks. Keep going. Circle back. What I suspect, you might be sending messages, and then you don't hear from somebody. Then you follow up. Then you hear back. That's actually what I think is gonna happen. I really do. That's great stuff. Get in the job search challenge, folks. It's really good. Frank Caprino, my boot camper, how you doing? Is it normal for companies to stop hiring during a recession, and how long does it take until companies start hiring again? Frank, I wish I knew that. It is normal for companies to slow down their hiring, but remember this. There are always companies hiring. There are always people leaving companies that create vacancies. If you are in motion and you are doing the job search challenge, maybe even amping it up a bit, you will be better positioned to be there when that happens. You see, when you're communicating with somebody, so for a lot of you, that's via email or LinkedIn InMails. For me, it might be on the phone or through the video. When you are doing this, good things happen because serendipity can happen. Oh, I was thinking about that. Or, hey, I was thinking about you. Oh, you know what? Now that we're talking about this, I'm thinking about that. Well, when you send stuff out to people, they might not know they need Frank Caprino until they see your background. They're like, we can get rid of that other guy. We need to amp up our team. Here's another thing. With tightening going on, what's more important now than ever? Versatility. If I got a 3-trick pony, I'm taking that and I'm dumping my 1-trick pony. Right? If you can do that job, and that job, I want you. So that's another thing that you ought to highlight for my beloved boot campers. You all have a module in the boot camp that talks about seasonal adjustments that you need to make. about what to do between November and February, guess what? You need to go back and watch that module and make the adjustments like it was high hiring season. And what companies value in January and the adjustments to the cover letters and the other things that I mentioned are exactly what you need right now. And just the reason that I got on that was, I can't remember who was asking me earlier about the adjustment. Maybe it was Bobby or somebody was asking me about the adjustment to the cover letters and about remote working. But you need to be highlighting your versatility and your array of skills as well. So you might even want to consider pulling out your major accomplishments in favor of your versatility. So these are kind of things to think about, but they matter. These subtle things matter because if I can get somebody who can play multiple positions, I'm going to take that person. It might be more cost effective for me, but at a minimum, it's a safety measure. So think about that. All right, great question. All right, Todd, I'm a finalist for an out-of-state executive position to interview in April. I offered the company to take the position on contract for short term in order to conduct interviews at a later time. If they accept the contract, what recommendations do you have? By the way, your note yesterday in the Malwalk Academy's LinkedIn group was encouraging. Thank you. You are a leader, my friend. Yes. I appreciate that. So when you're asking about offering the company to take a position on the short term, so my recommendation here is we're in a little bit of unprecedented situation, right? So you never know. So it's not like I have loads and loads of data where I can draw from that say, when we're in a pandemic, then companies behave this way. If you are for an out-of-state position, I don't know if you're actually moving or if you're working remotely. What I would say is I would say, okay, you know what? I want to follow up on my offer to work on a contract. I'm assuming you can work remotely. I want you to know that in light of recent events in the situation, I'm open to, and then tell them what you're open to. Coming to you, working remotely, going on contract, so on and so. If stuff needs to be done, if you need, and I also understand if you need to pause certain things. So you almost want to let them know you're flexible. I think that is a great thing for you to show them that, hey, this guy gets it, right? So your situation, that's kind of a unique one. That's not really common. Where you said interview in April. I don't know if that's April 1st or 30th, but that's the way I would handle that. That's really an interesting question. All right, let's see. Wait, Kara, I got Renee. Do me a favor, hold until I can get through what's you got. I've got a pretty long list of questions here, so just Kara, hold until I can get through down to Brandy. Let me see. It's quite a few questions. Hang on, let me try to get as many as I can. All right, folks, if you're loving this, thumbs up. Thumbs up button, people. We can get through this. All right. Renee, interviewed with Disney for counsel position a month ago. Okay, so I'm a lawyer. They say I'm still in consideration, but what can I do to follow up during this difficult time so I don't seem like a pest? You will never seem like a pest. First off, great question. You will never seem like a pest if the kind of email I just mentioned about Todd, to send them and say, hey, I really enjoyed it. I want to reiterate, I'm very excited about the opportunity to work with your company. I want you to know I appreciate the situation that we're all going, I hope everybody's doing well and safe, and I appreciate the situation. I want you to know I will be as flexible as you need me to be to continue this process, whether you want to pick it right up or whether you need to delay it. Please just let me know what you foresee as the next steps and the timing of them. Something on that order. That's not being a pest. That's what I call communication. That's what I call being empathetic, right? I'd roll with that. That's a great one. Brandon was excited to get the ball rolling with the job search and applying, but now concerned if I reach out to contacts now, I'll get lost in the shuffle. Should I wait for the dust to settle? Awesome question. Really awesome. Nobody wait. Do not wait. Tailor the question, tailor the email, tailor the message, right? Like Evelyn O let us off with, should we be a little bit more compassionate in the opener? Yeah, add that. You know what? I recognize that, everybody's busy and, we're all going through some unprecedented times and whatever. Wanted you to know, and so on, and lead right in. And then give them a little time. You will be surprised how many people are responding to emails. I'm getting email after email each day saying I'm getting lots of responses now to my emails. Well, sure. People got time. People get it. People like connecting. They don't know what's going to happen to them, right? So I would not slow down. You actually remember this, folks. You got to work harder in these times and smarter. So I'm not slowing down. When times are going good and everybody's employed, I work as hard as right now. So you go. Don't slow down. Adjust. Brian Harvey, how do we stay relevant with hiring managers while understanding the situation they are in managing their business? What I just said. You are being understanding. Express it. Wendy Bader, my boot camper. Any specific tips for a panel interview via phone video? It's my third interview for the position. Yes. Wendy B. And I think I might have forgotten to mention this, Wendy B. When I was talking in the video interview about eye contact, the one thing for you, Wendy, that I would do, number one, I have a panel interview video out there for everybody. How to ace or how to win the panel job interview. Go watch that. Doesn't matter if you're in person, you're on a phone call. Well, the phone call you're not gonna be able to see them, or you're on a video. Now, on a video, here's what I recommend. If you are in a video interview, oftentimes, like in Zoom or something like that, or WebEx, you have different pictures across your frame. Somebody is going to ask you a question, and you are going to, like when you're live, you're going to want to look at the person, talk for a few seconds, right? Get connected with them, and then move your eye contact to another person. Okay? Now, in a video, and I go through that in the panel interview video. In a video panel interview, you only got one place to look, and you need to stay there. There's 327 people still on this thing, right? I could go boop, 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 right? No, I'm looking right at you. So you get to look in, lock, and focus on the camera and just answer. And then what you need to do is, if you've got something that you want to say as a statement or a question, what was Wendy said earlier, this makes a lot of sense. You stay locked in on the camera. You need to practice staying in on the camera. It does not take much. It really does not. A few minutes will get you locked in. See how easy this is? Right? It's like Wendy, it's like just you and me talking right now. Right? Even though there's 333 people now. So, but that's a biggie. I know you mentioned that to me, and I think I might have forgot to mention that in the slide. But yeah, that's a great one. Can we give Wendy B a boot camper? Wendy, go to the gift shop. Pick something, my boot camper. Got boot camper stuff. And then we got Mile Academy on the back. All right. Kurosaku. Remote sites, people. Ready? Power to Fly. Flexjobs.com. Powertofly.com. WeWorkRemotely.com. WorkingNomads.co. Remotive.io. Go knock your socks off. Great question. There's tons of them. You can Google those. Those are great. And Kurosaku, I knew somebody was going to ask me that question. So we had the list. Marta, thank you so much for this conversation and community. Much needed in Seattle right now. You ain't kidding. Stay safe, my Washington folks. Paula Gomez, you have an awesome approach to this, Annie. Thank you so much for doing everything you do to genuinely help people take a level-headed, practical approach to all of this. Paula, thank you for that. Folks, I want to Paul, thank you. And I want to reiterate. I showed you my list. I look at it every day. Some days the world blows up and some days it's sunny and 72. So it's up to you to take responsibility for being the calm in the storm. But it's also your responsibility to not fuel it. There's nothing wrong with having a polite conversation, that a disagreement on social media or whatever, but don't fuel the negativity. Don't do that. Don't fuel it in your house. Don't fuel it in with others. And for all that is holy, don't do it to yourself. Okay? Do you know, you're not going to believe this? I have not, literally, kid you not, watched 1 minute of news on this. I have not watched 1 minute. Not one, zero. How is it that I am completely informed on where everything is? Well, I got a wife. She's probably glued to the TV right now. Reports, hey, this and that. Okay. Text, somebody will chat, text me. I want to look at the places I want to look to get the data I need to get to be able to be knowledgeable to share this with you. Okay, I'm looking at the trends, but I'm not watching them on the news. I'm going to the CDC website, and then I'm interpreting the CDC's results. I'm going to the WHO website so I can look at the data. I do not want it fed to me with spin and scare. Okay, I want to look at what I want to look at. That's it. I never watch the news, not any day, ever, never. And I'm a pretty damn happy person. And you will be shocked at how well you will be informed. But that, you watching it, you worrying about it, you all that stuff, that's not doing you any good. It isn't. I'm going to wake up today. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to focus on stuff I got to get done for Tuesday for you and Thursday for you. It doesn't matter what happens. If the governor says, Andy, you got to stay in the house, I'm going to stay in the house. Right? I'm just going to run to the grocery store or whatever. We're going to have our Zoom sessions. We're going to have our YouTube lives. In the Facebook community, we're going to get live. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to stay in my routine. I'm just going to keep giving you what I normally give you. You want to buy something, that's great. You want to just show up and have some fun for free, that's fine too. I ain't changing. I'm not letting that win. I'm not. We take it seriously and we do what we can. And my workouts have changed. I can't go swimming, right? Okay, so I'll run outside, I'll run on the treadmill. Fine. I can't do anything about that. I can control my response to that, right? So folks, please do that. Control your energy. Be responsible for it. Pat Atkinson. Oh, that is so nice. Andy, my life has changed for the better immensely since I joined your organization. Miss Pat, I love that. And you know what? Kim, I know I've sent you some signed books or whatever, but you know what? Can we get, I don't know, you want a coffee mug or a boot camp or sweatshirt or something? Just let us know. Support MyWalk.com. I have no idea how much all this stuff costs to me. I just like to give. So then I figure it out and I go, oh, what did I just pay? All right. Pat, just kidding. I love you and we got a gift shop. So let's start breaking that sucker in. All right, Wendy B. Once I found Andy, I have learned so much incredibly useful info and confidence building skills. Andy, the real thing, and he cares. Yes, I do. You cannot fake caring. You cannot. You know why? People are smart. They are. They know. They get it. You might fool them once, but I'm with you too much for you to know, not know, right? It's not. No, it's a real thing. Real thing. I appreciate that. All right, Brandy, during the social distancing, if you do go in for an in-person interview, is it rude not to shake hands? Brandy, awesome question. Here's what I would do. If I had to go for an interview, which some of you will go, you're going to go. And actually, in 6 weeks from now, you're going to go or whatever. So you know what? Normally, I'd love to shake your hand or give you a hug or whatever. But obviously I want to respect your social distancing. So I just want you to know it is truly a pleasure to meet you. Boom, done. It's over. Sit down, go on. Right? You know me, I'm always telling you, get up, shake hands, do all that stuff, because that's our custom. And I always tell you to adapt your personal country's custom to what it is that you're doing, or that, if it's just bowing, or just, put your hand on your heart or whatever. But that's just the way I would go. That's the way I would roll. All right, Kara, let's keep going. Let's go to the top of the hour. These people deserve it. We want to hang in there, get as much answered as we can. So, folks, just real quick, I want to put this up again, just so you guys have this. Just a reminder before I answer these questions. Just remember, get on the email list. You can go to the Mile Walk Academy, or you can go in whatever link that Kara has placed. Please connect up with me. I accept all my LinkedIn connection requests. I love to have the conversation with you wherever you want. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I love as well. There's going to be videos every day. There probably one went out recently. The Mile Walk Academy site, the Job Search Challenge, come next week. You can go right to the Mile Walk Academy site, sign up for that, get the 3 days of emails. They're really good. And then the interview book, you can get into the links. And if you would like to get in the boot camp, it's really going to be important. It's much deeper. I've accounted for everything. I'm going to be there with you. I give you online support, which means I answer your questions in the system whenever you have them. Okay, it's very different than answering YouTube comments. You're a paying customer of my signature course, so I'm with you. And then you get the live sessions. We've got 3 or 4 live sessions over the next month. So get in on that. The leadership program is fantastic. There is so much awesome stuff there. I really encourage you to jump into the special that we have going, which is kind of my monthly special that runs through next Friday. It's really great stuff, but it'll really help you level up on a lot of skills that you need. I go deep on these things. You get a great workbook every month. We have the recording for you. We have some pep talks in there. We've got huge bonuses. We've got my $400 Career Accelerator program. If you get in on the annual enrollment, I give you my $200 goal setting masterclass. So really, really check that stuff out. And please make sure to share this. There are a lot of people that need this. And I appreciate all the likes and the thumbs ups. And if you haven't and you're enjoying this, please do. But most importantly, please share. Please share it, because people need it. It's hard. This is rough. This is really, and it's weird, right? I mean, I've never in my 53 years ever experienced something like this, where all of a sudden I'm in my house all the time. I mean, I'm generally in my house because I work, but I just, I'm not going here, not going there, can't go to the restaurants or all that. It's just weird. It takes its toll. All right, what we got? Miss Nina from Paris, how are you? How should we adapt our networking approach? Okay, great question, my boot camper. So Nina, going back to what I was saying in the slides, where I want you to stay consistent with what I've recommended with you before. The Job Search Challenge, that's part of your networking process. Your emails and reach outs are part of your networking process. You are a boot camper. You have those 10 copywritten networking templates. Use them, make some adjustments, kind of like what Evelyn O said earlier about just being empathetic in the opener. Very true, very good idea. And I would be consistent. I would keep reaching out. I would recognize that you're going to be doing a lot of online stuff. And if you do have access, or you might even want to make sure that you guys are you don't even need to invest. Google Hangouts. There's a lot of free conference call, things you can do, video things you can do for free. You might even want to do that. Say, virtual coffee you could have with people, virtual happy hours or whatever. I would stay consistent. I really would. I would. So that's a great question. All right, Evelyn O, any suggestions on the types of jobs for office managers, HR coordinators can search for during this time? Evelyn, I would do the same things we've been coaching you to do. The one thing I think you can take some comfort in is if you're focusing on the right areas, there are going to be HR people whose roles and work is going to be displaced, meaning they're going to have to focus on some other things. Think about what the HR people are doing right now. They're making sure that everybody is in order to have what they need to work remotely, approving all these extra expenses related to remote officing. They're looking at COVID-19 and policy rewriting. They're looking at paid sick leave policies. They're having to write addendums. All that stuff is being done. Well, all the other stuff still needs to get done. So I think you stay in your lane. I do. I would just make sure you're targeting the right industries. Hanyin, my boot camper, how you doing? For a one-way interview where you are presented a question to answer, how do we know if the time limit is imposed? Excellent question. Let's take that first one. They tell you you have 1 minute, you have 2 minutes, you have 3 minutes, and they tell you before you hit the button. So you will get a backdrop, and it'll say, you will have X. We will give you X minutes to prepare in between. Then when you hit the record button, you will have X minutes to answer. You know all that in advance. Watch the HireVue video. It's out there. HireVue, how to ace video interviews. It'll help. And then my guess, you still dress up in a suit regardless if it's a one-way or both ways. Yes, same dress protocols as I mentioned earlier. Okay, they're screening. They're screening, buddy. They're screening, and they're looking for your communication style. They know everybody's a little nervous. They factor that in so everybody gets that handicap, so to speak, right? If I go and I take a video interview, I'm going to crush it, right? Because I'm looking at the camera every day. I know how to do this. I know off the fly. My pulse never changes kind of thing. But for you, they know you're they know it's uncomfortable. They do. They actually really do. They really do. So the best thing that you can control, like you can put the suit on, the tie, the dress. You can have the nice environment and all that. That stuff, that's pre-planning, right? So go to it. All right, let me take this one. Blanca, my boot camper. 2 people offered to share my CV, refer me in 2 of my top target companies recently, but there are not positions internally. Is it a good moment to contact them back now, or should I wait? So first thing is, Blanca, I don't know when they did that, but if they did that, I probably would wait a couple of weeks from the time they initially sent that and say, hey, you know what? It's been a couple of weeks. I recognize things are a bit crazy with the current, COVID-19 pandemic, but I wanted to be diligent and follow up to let you know I'm interested, and so on. That's it. Go on with that, right? I've reattached my resume that I believe so-and-so gave you, and so on. That's it. And that's a great question. I really, really appreciate this, guys. And you know what? I'm likely going, the replay is going to stay up for you. So you can go and watch this and rewatch it, and you can loop me over and over and over and all you want. If you are interested in the Catapult Your Career session that we're having next Thursday, jump in by Sunday. And then on Monday, I think those emails we send kind of midday my time, like maybe noon, to try to not interfere with like my Tuesday morning digest and things of that nature. But that'll be Thursday. It'll be on my YouTube channel, okay? But if you want the pre-lessons and you want the workbook, you gotta go in and sign up. And at least we need to know that we're sending you those, because we're not sending those emails to everybody. Just because you're on my email list does not mean you get those pre-lessons. We are only sending those pre-lessons to people who ask for them. So it's it's just our way of regulating that and the volume of your emails that you're getting from me. But I love having all of you. I really appreciate your attention. I know it's 2 hours. I'm really glad we got to do this today. I didn't plan on doing this, but I know you needed it. I'm here for you. I'm going to be around a lot. I'm going to try to keep my usual schedule. I do have time and energy with my leaders and my boot campers coming up. So take a little bit of a hit with some of the public stuff. But if you want to get into those programs, please let us know. I'm happy to extend a discount to you. All you need to do is email us, and then we email you a private link to get in the program. but I'd love to have you, and anybody who I threw swag at. Hopefully you were here to hear that, and I look forward to your emails. Okay, y'all, I'll see ya. Well, some of you, you might get a message from me on Sunday. Actually, you might even get a message from me tomorrow. But anyway, we'll see you soon. Take care.